Hi, friends in TCH 579. My name is Aaron Gearhart, for those of you that don't know me, although I think I actually know or have had class with most of you. I'm Dr. Seglam's grad assistant this summer, and she asked me to serve as the discussion recorder for your first week of the course. Hopefully, I will be a suitable model for this role in your discussion groups moving forward. You don't have to do a video response, and when you're the recorder, it can be written. You can use a variety of different apps or tools online. I just thought I'd show you a different one than Google Docs or something written because that's what you've been using throughout the week. I took 579 during the spring term last year, and I feel that it really provided deep perspectives for me on many facets of tech and education, and it challenged my assumptions about teaching and learning with tech. And I hope that you have a very similar experience in the course this summer. Now, since I didn't directly participate in your discussion this week, I'll provide my outside perspective. I read over your discussion in the Google Doc this afternoon and this evening around my daughter's sleep schedule. I have a 1.5-year-old. So I'm going to also integrate my experiences in the course from the past and preview upcoming topics and themes that you'll discuss in the coming weeks. So, in question one, the group's discussion of Prensky's digital immigrant and native dichotomy seemed to center around the idea that teachers have to shift traditional pedagogical approaches to better meet the needs of today's learners. I saw Margaret bring up great points here about how teachers, in maintaining student centered learning environments, must be willing to learn from their students as well. Amy and Jolynn broached the idea that perhaps our focus shouldn't be on teachers' current knowledge and skill levels toward technology, but rather where they're headed, where they're going. And I won't dig into this topic too deeply now because pedagogy will definitely be a main discussion point in some of your upcoming readings, especially weeks 2 and 8. I happen to help select some of the readings that you'll have in week 8 of the course. I'm excited for you to get there as well. Margaret also noted the influence of inequities toward technology, knowledge, and skill levels, and that's a major theme in the readings in week 6 of the course. Thinking that all of today's youth have the same opportunities to use digital tech consistently enough to participate with integrity is a really erroneous and misguided thought. We know, and you'll read about in the lit for this course and research beyond that there's a lot of factors that contribute to inequities and digital gaps and access gaps and participation gaps. Some of those factors include race and language proficiency, students' parent education, socioeconomic status, more and more. They all contribute to those digital access and participation gaps. And in the reference list that I include in the description for this video, I listed a few studies along that line about digital inequities that you can pursue at your leisure if you wish. Josh noted in question 1 that technology in and of itself has to be considered when examining how students make and communicate meaning using digital tools and platforms. And if new tech innovations are too complicated or maybe are inauthentic towards student purposes, we may not get that buy-in. And research and theory suggest that self-efficacy and perceived usefulness are highly impactful, not just on the adoption of new tech, but also non-digital innovations for solutions to problems. And this goes for people of all ages to some degree or another. Moving on to question 2, there was more discussion about the digital native and immigrant debate, but I also saw discussion about, again, the influence of inequities toward tech knowledge and skill levels. A major theme in the readings for week 6, going back to that again, thinking that all of today's youth have the same opportunities to use tech consistently enough to participate with integrity is just off. I know I kind of got into that a little bit in the first part of my summary of question 1, but it's a really big part of what I've been writing and researching about lately, so I wanted to throw it out there again, I guess. Sorry for being repetitive. An article kind of along those lines that I think you're going to find really interesting in week 6 is the Van Duerson and Hausper article about the third level digital divide, something that I read for a course this spring. But I'm not going to spoil all of that for you. You'll read it when you get to it. But Margaret's reply to Kirsten in the question 2 discussion, in which she proposed that access gaps perpetuate other social inequities, was very spot on in that regard. Okay, question 3 briefly, and then I'll be on my way. I really enjoyed this reading your responses to question 3 a lot, especially because discussions about technology can often drift towards the negative side of things, and it was nice to have some positive experiences with teaching and learning with technology here as well. Modern digital technologies are evolving, and they serve different purposes for different topics, audiences, and even can be different on an individual level. The positive ways the members of this course shared regarding the integration of technology in the curriculum, from what I saw, included digital facilitations of discussions, digital role-playing, smart technology, smart boards, digital curation, and multimodal presentations. It's clear that we have a variety of teaching and learning backgrounds and experiences represented by the members of the course this semester, and I feel that this is going to support very rich weekly discussions with a variety of perspectives. So, kind of in closing, as you work through the course together, I encourage you to consider how integrating digital tech in our teaching impacts the ways we design and implement instruction. Think about how tech can impact the ways that students learn, communicate, collaborate. Think about how tech impacts the authenticity of learning experiences for today's students, and how we might leverage technology to bridge students' sociocultural realities with academic learning goals, and how those can be one and the same. Their goals can be the same goals from the curriculum, or maybe a version of them can marry together. I believe personally that technology, when driven by critical pedagogy, effective teaching practices, knowledge of your individual students' needs, tech can serve as a component of truly transformative learning experiences for students. So, with that said, I'm really excited for you all to move on to week 2, where you get to read the New London Group's Pedagogy of Multiliteracies. That's a core component of my theoretical framework for the dissertation I'm working on designing. I'm in my last course of the doc program this summer, and then I take my comps and start dissertation. So that piece, the New London Group piece that you'll read next week, that's a big part of what I'm about to do, and how I'm going to go about my study for my dissertation. So I wish you the best of luck. This was a really great course for me. I hope it's great for you in wherever your studies and your research are taking you. And I'm sure that we'll be touching base again this summer. Thanks.